Good morning, everyone. So today is last day of the energy leadership series that I've been doing for the last couple of days. So I started this series because one day as I was opening my email, and since we've been all stuck at home, there's a lot of feeling that was coming up for us. And this is a tool that I find it very powerful because it gives us choices on how we want to choose to see the world and also our current situation. So just to recap, for the last couple of days, I have covered the warrior lens, the fighter lens, the cooperation lens, the caregiver lens, and the opportunity lens. So today I want to cover the last two lenses, which is the wisdom and also the creator lens. The reason why I combine these two is because there's a lot of similarity between how one would feel with the wisdom and the creator lens. And I think for me, when I talk about energy leadership, when I have that worldview, sometimes some people cannot relate to it because they're still focusing on the warrior lens and the fighter lens, which is really realistic, and a lot of it originated from our external world. So when I'm talking about the wisdom lens, when the creator lens, people would think that I'm kind of out there. And this is a very common feeling for a lot of people when you tap into that higher level of lenses or perception and you have that worldview. You may find some disconnection with the world outside of you, and you actually enjoy being alone. So that's a good. I don't know if it's a good or bad thing about having too much of this type of energy. So I'm gonna go ahead and share my lens, my screen with you so that we can get started. So as you remember, this is the last day of the energy leadership series. And to start, I would like to share this quote with you. This is my favorite quote from Brian Cox. He's a physicist from, I believe he's from UK. It reads, "We are the cosmos made conscious, and life is the means by which the universe understands itself." And I think it's really beautiful because it describes a lot of what's happening around us and even within ourselves. So there's always a constant balance within the universe and also within ourselves that we try to maintain. We maintain that balance by letting go of our judgment, letting go of our busy mind, and we constantly create that balance. And sometimes those negative feelings, negative self-talk is really your body, your mind way of sending you a signal, hey, something is not right here. That's create that balance. So if you were to think of, whatever is happening right now is creating a balance in the external world as well as in the internal world, then perhaps you would have the ability to adapt one of those different lenses. And so this whole energy leadership came from, it was developed by Bruce Schneider. He is the founder for iPad Coaching. And if you're interested, if you're thinking about becoming a coach, definitely check out their program. That's where I graduated from. And that's where I got my certification as an Energy Leadership Index Master Practitioner. So what you're looking at, if you remember day one, I had showed you this chart. It's called Energy Self-Perception. So today we are at the last two level, which is on the very top, the outside. And you can see that on the outer ring, a circle, it's the self-transcendence circle. And in this area, you experience more joy, you will experience more absolute passion. And the action that you take, generally it's involved with wisdom about creation. You become the visionary and you kind of just create everything out of nothing. And you enjoy that moment of co-creating with the universe and also within yourself. So the wisdom and the creator lens, they are the highest and very high anabolic energy. And this type of energy, if you remember, the anabolic energy means something that's positive, something that's constructive, something that builds us. And the core thinking, core thoughts is synthesis. It's about creating, co-creating something out of everything. And we start to see everyone and everything as part of ourselves. So earlier I mentioned, having a broader perspective of the view of how we see the world. We are, you are me, I am you, and we are as one. So we start to see everyone and everything as part of ourselves. And there's more objective thinking involved. So there's less judgment. We tend not to judge, whether it's about someone else or about ourselves. And we become more fearless, more brave, more courage, more courageous. And if you were to think back a time, when you are truly enjoying creating something, whether it's art, it's something that you involves a lot of your creativity, in those moments, that's where you start tapping into this high and very high anabolic energy. You feel non-judgmental. You don't really care about the time that passes you by. The internal message at this level is that we can all work together, and we can all get through this, which sounds very familiar, right? So a lot of us actually feel that way right now with the whole situation. We feel that we can work together and we can actually get through this together. And we didn't lose that deal. If you're working in a corporate setting, if you're looking at a company and something didn't work out right, you stop thinking that, oh, we didn't just lose that deal. In fact, everybody contributed to their talent in creating this project. So it's actually a beautiful thing. So you don't see things as a loss. And again, it goes back to that non-judgment ability of objective thinking. And other internal message will include, I gave my best shot, and I absolutely just love every moment of this. And this is how I feel when I'm doing coaching and teaching and speaking, because I feel like, if no one's watching, who cares? I absolutely enjoy this very moment, every bit of it. So that's my internal message. And the behavior that we typically show up, it can be calm, we have ease, and a lot of time, you become more intuitive. If something is about to happen or something that you feel, oh, I need to make that decision quick. And so you start using your intuition more, and you become more creative. So, people ask me, like, how do you come up with all these ideas? I think I use a lot of this type of energy to in my creativity space. And again, absolute passion. And you kind of just play the game. You go with the flow a lot when you are in this wisdom and create, when you put on these lenses. And the key word is that you have the ability to wear these lenses. You can put them on. So imagine all these different lenses that I've been covering for the last couple of days. These are all lenses that you can wear and you can put on. So depending on which lens you choose, these are the behavior, these are the internal messages that you're experiencing. So you get to choose. That's a great thing. So when I talk about wisdom and creator lens, I often think about him. I always imagine him sitting in the LA traffic, and like, what would he say about LA traffic? He probably just, oh, look at all these beautiful people driving in the same direction, right? So happiness is not something already made. It's not something already made. It comes from your own action. So how do you choose, and what do you choose? What type of lens or perspective are you going to wear today will ultimately lead to be more happy or less happy. So what lens would you choose today? How does this wisdom and creator lens show up for me in the past? Well, even now, how does it show up for me? It show up for me, especially in looking around our world, our environment, our community. What I see is that I see myself in you. There's every piece of you that I appreciate, and I see you. I see you, and I mean it. So that's how wisdom and creator show up for me. And there's also absolute passion to life. I think I had a conversation with someone. It was through a message text just a couple of days ago, and we were talking about this whole WHO, where our government stopped funding to them, and what people don't realize is that effect, that consequences, is leading to more death. And because you have to realize that no matter what kind of opinion you have with regard to WHO, their job is to providing vaccines to not just coronavirus. Their job is actually to provide vaccines to Ebola, to eradicate polio. And it's not just a little tiny section of what we're going through right now. They're working on. They're working on promoting world health, all parts of different area, and they need the resources to be able to do that. So if we're looking at how valuable life is, then by making a little tiny decision will actually impact the overall humanity, and whether or not some of these people who are not at a good advantage, it will affect their life. So I think putting life into the bigger picture is something that I have passionate about. So this is how wisdom and creator lens will show up for me, that absolute passion to life itself. So that's just my opinion, and you may not resonate with it, and that's completely okay. How might this wisdom and creator lens show up for you? Well, a couple of different ways that it might show up, and these are just an example, and perhaps you can share how this wisdom and creator lens show up for you in the comment below, so that I can get to experience what you're going through. So the first example is, what we're going through is only a fraction of our soul's experience in this realm of life. The universe creates its balance. This too shall pass. So that's a very broad, and it goes back to that Brian Cox quote. Second example would be collaboration, and cooperation is much needed. The world is in synchronicity, and it is so beautiful to see everyone contributing and saving each other. So yesterday I posted a link to a live concert, and it was just so beautiful to sit there and just watch and listen to all the musicians, all the artists, contributing their gifts to the world, and that's perfect example of collaboration and also cooperation. How can you improve on this kind of mindset? And I think by going through all the example of different lenses, you're probably thinking, well, I want more of that opportunity lens. I want more of that wisdom and creator lens. Like, I can use a lot more of that. So, and you're right, by tapping into the higher level of energy, you'll probably become more productive. You'll probably have more you have that ability to make more good decision or better decision, and you tap into your creativity, and you start to live your life more passionately. And so the way that you can improve upon this mindset is a couple of things. You can let go of your judgment by freeing yourself with that busy mind, with that monkey mind, and stop judging yourself and being so critical about yourself and also about others. If you were to look at the other person from this wisdom and creator lens, that person is just another human being. So let's accept that and release your judgment, your expectation of that person, and the world is completely different. So let go of your judgment. And so there's a couple of ways that I can directly help you with that. Is there's a free copy of the workbook on my website. So if you go to elevatelifecoaching.org, and on my front page, you'll be able to download a free copy of the workbook, and you can print it out at home. You can go through the exercises, and in that book, it's exactly what I've been covering so far. And they actually give you a little more in terms of how you can let go of that judgment. The other thing that I would share is very effectively is to keep a judgment journal and keep track of all your judgments. So throughout the day, notice what you're judging, whether it's yourself or someone else. Write down that thought, write down that judgment that you have, and when it pop into your head. And with that piece, come up with 2 to 3 different ways of looking at it. So if you're saying that, oh, I'm not pretty enough, well, that's a judgment call about yourself, right? So with that idea, can you come up with 2 different ways of looking at it? Maybe you are very artistic. I'm very artistic. So that would replace that I am not pretty enough. And I am genuine. That would be another thing that I'm really good at. So you replace that with I am not pretty enough. So instead of thinking and telling yourself that I am not pretty enough, now you have 2 other ways of looking at yourself and start to believing it. And if you need more help, definitely, I'm available, and you can come and talk to me or send me a message. I love to connect with you. So again, you can take the ELI assessment. I showed you the diagram of how it would look like a couple of days ago. Basically give you a really detailed breakdown of where you are on hanging out on the most part and how you're seeing the world, what type of lens you typically wear. So you can find out more information at elevatelifecoaching.org/energy leadership. And with that, you get a complimentary debrief session with me, a certified ELIMP. And again, you can download a free judgment workbook via my website, and there's the website for you. So next week, I'm really excited because I'm doing a live event, and it's going to be on my Facebook page. So if you haven't already follow me or like me on my business page, then go ahead and like me and follow me on my business page. It's at Life Coaching by Elevate. So if you type in the search box, Life Coaching by Elevate, you'll be able to find me, my business page. And I'm doing a topic called Boo, Cut That Out, right? Boo, cut that out. And those of you who use boo a lot, it has a couple of different meanings. Boo means, kind of surprise, boo, or it means I care about you. I care about you, girlfriend and guys. Boo, cut that out. How to quiet your mind. And I think a lot of time, the reason why we tend not to feeling that enjoyment and that joy and happiness is because we're so busy in our mind. So how do we quiet our mind in that so that we can actually truly be passionate about the things that we do? So in the live event, I will share steps on how we can start doing that and cultivating our positivity. So that concludes all my energy leadership series, and I will make all these videos available to you on my business page. So go ahead and follow me on Life Coaching by Elevate, and also follow me and join my group. My group is at the Confidence Lab. So type it in and you can just join the group, and all the video will be available on there. So, and that's it for today. And thank you. So you can see that, I'm delivering this message to you from the outer space because I really enjoy that space. And to go back to the Brian Cox quote again, we are the cosmos made conscious, and life is the means by which the universe understands itself. Beautiful. All right. Have a great, happy Sunday.